Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video we're going to be seeing how I lay my foundation, how I do my skin work to go from zero to va voom. See, my skin is doing pretty good these days as I've been doing quite a few things to get it to look better. So I just thought that I will drop this gang peng looking video for you for your viewing pleasure, and so that you can learn a thing or two about how I do my makeup. So to begin with, there's this gold I found. Is the Zikel Golden Ampoule 24 karat, and this thing, guys, is the truth, and it is very affordable, right? So I just put this all over my face and use my fingers to just massage it into my skin. It's so soothing and it leaves your skin feeling hydrated and soft and supple, and just, you know, just keeps your skin feeling good. I use this morning and at night, and it's been doing amazing things for my skin. So I just use my hands to push it in and just massage to increase the blood flow. I remember to extend it to my neck and under my eye, and I just keep massaging till it's all in. Next, I'm going to also be moisturizing my lips, and I love using the Nivea lip balm. This thing is just luxurious, honestly. Next, I'm going to go into another product that I found that I've been using and I love. Is the Mismetic moisture portion. It also doubles as a primer, but I'm using it here as a moisturizer. So I'm just going to take a little bit, apply it all over my face. This is a new tube, so I'm just opening it. I'm going to put it all over my face, and again I'm going to massage it in, just as I did with the face serum, the 24 karat golden ampoule from Zikel Cosmetics. Then I'm going to prime my skin using the number 7 primer, Airbrush Away primer. And because I'm not going anywhere after this, so I do not feel the need to use any mattifier. As you know, I have very oily skin, but I'm just going to use this a bit just to make sure that my makeup has something to adhere to, and just for the overall goodness of my skin. I'll be using my fingers to press this in to my T-zones, and then finally I'm going to go in with some rose water and just spray that all over my face. Now these steps I just went through are a must. You want to keep your skin moisturized, especially if you have oily skin, because your skin will produce oil when it feels dry, okay? So you must moisturize. The next thing, I'm going into this L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour Fresh Wear Foundation. This is the shade, I believe this is 540. It's dark, I know, but I'm going to go over it with 35. Sometimes I like to darken my foundation a bit, so that when I do my highlight and my contour, it's not going to be overpowering. This is a step I do mostly for when I'm going for a soft glam, okay? With my soft glam, I don't want to be looking too highlighted or too bright. I just want to look really nice without necessarily looking overpowering. So I'm going to mix that in and go in with my damp beauty blender to blend this all over my skin. I mean, look at it, guys. Can you see this foundation? Like, since I found this foundation, I don't know if I'm going to be able to use another. And it's also a very affordable brand. It's not high end, but it's not overly cheap either, but it's good, it's worth it, and you get a lot in the bottle, okay, for that price point. So you'll be using it for quite a while before you need to replace this. So I'm just blending in, making sure to extend it to my chin and to the sides of my neck, going into all those creases to make sure that everything is fully blended. Next, I'm going to go into this Revlon color stay. I believe this is the color 420 or 410, I'm not sure, but it's just like a shade lighter than I am, and that's what I'm going to use. Remember that this is laying foundation, this is skin work for a soft glam, and like I said, I do not want to be looking too bright, so I'm taking things a bit slow. I want to highlight, but I don't want to look too highlighted. So I put this in all of the areas that light naturally hits my face. That's under my eyes, on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, on my upper lip, and also on my chin. And I'm taking my time to blend it into my foundation, you see. So I'm doing this, and I'm alternating between the part where I'm blending the highlighter and also the part where I blended the foundation, just to make sure that there are no harsh lines, that everything is just seamless and well blended and just looking good, right? See how I'm already transforming, like I'm already going to that Vava Vumland. See that? So I just take my time to blend this. You want to take your time, don't be in a rush. If you want to look flawless, you have to take your time to blend. Now right after that, I'm going to go into my contour, and for my contour I'm still going back to the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear, and I believe that this shade I'm using is in the shade 545. I think that should be their darkest shade. Now I like to use foundations throughout the process of doing my skin work because I find that the blendability is much easier, much seamless. I don't really use concealers that much, so I mostly do most of my work with foundation. I'm using the same foundation to kind of define my nose. Notice how I'm yet to blend the highlighting shade on my nose. Yeah, I leave that a while longer so that it will stay, the effect will be more for that really snatched nose. In as much as this is a soft glam, I want my nose to be all snatched, you know, for the bridge to be all soft and everything like that. So I'm going back in to add some of that highlight just to make sure that the contour is not overpowering it, and then I'm going to go to continue blending. Notice how I'm using the side with my foundation, the side where I blended my foundation, so that everything again will be seamless. Yes guys, I know you don't even have to use several sponges for this. I'm using the same one, the same sponge I started with is what I'm using. I'm just making sure that I'm targeting different sides for different purposes, so that way I don't have any mixture or nothing is just going off balance while I do this. Okay, so I'm pinching my sponge to go into that nose contour. I'm going to be blending the contour first before I blend the highlight. Okay, so once I'm done blending the highlight, I'm now going to blend the contour. I'm now going to be blending the highlight, and I'll keep alternating between the beauty blender and this flat brush here until I achieve the kind of highlight and kind of effect though that I want for my nose. So I'm reapplying, and then I'm going to go in and blend the edges to make sure that my nose looks very snatched. Okay, so I'm doing this, I'm blending it into the forehead like with the highlighting shade that I put there, and then I'm going to go in and press in the contour as well so that everything is just beautiful. So you see how there's a lot that has gone into my face, yet it doesn't look crazy. That's what you want to achieve, a soft glam, and that's generally how I just do makeup generally. Now I'm going to take this Kryolan powder, I believe is their deluxe banana powder, and I'm going to be using this to set everywhere that I highlighted. I'm using this brush. I love this brush. I'm going to take just a little at a time, beginning with directly underneath my eyes because it creases quickly, so I want to quickly set that place before any creasing happens. So I'm going to apply this powder lightly, and I'll be blending it as I go. Okay, apply and then blend, and I'm also bringing that powder into the sides of my nose just to emphasize the contour. Is that emphasize? No, that's more like to reverse contour the nose. Okay, so I'm going in with my under eye again on the other side and just simply repeating that process. Okay, now as I do this, I'm blending as well because I don't want it, again, I don't want it to be too harsh. It is a soft glam after all. If it's too harsh, then I mean it's no longer a soft glam, right? So I'm pressing that in, pressing that in and blending at the same time. I'm going to be extending it to the part with my brows just to keep that oil at bay. Okay, so we're doing all that. Just keep pushing as we blend because we don't want it to be too much. Okay, so now I'm just using that brush, the tip of the brush, to also set the highlight on my nose. And just press it in and then just blend off the excess. Okay, just blending off all of the excess powder around here. Now the next thing I want to do is to go into this Bariat powder palette. I love this stuff, guys. Every product I'm using here I highly recommend. Trust me, you're not going to regret buying it. So I'm going to go into my shade in the Bariat powder is 04, I believe, and I'm going to go into that shade and kind of just apply that every other place. Everywhere I didn't apply the highlighting powder, I'm going to be setting with the powder in my shade. Okay. The reason why I do this before I go into any contour powder is so that is to improve blendability, right? So you've applied a cream product there, and unless you want the next color you put in to be permanent there, you need to set with something neutral before you go into any dark shade for contour, so that it helps it to blend. It helps you to be able to blend that area very well. Okay, so this is almost like bronzing. So I'm taking my powder shade and I'm going all over my face. Now I'm also going over all of the highlighting, the powder, the places I highlighted, and just dusting off any other excess powder that is there so that there's no yellow or white cast left behind there. Okay, so I'm just blending and setting. Just make sure that there's no place that has any cream that is yet to be blended. Okay, I'm also taking that over my lid, you know, because I put some foundation there, just to make sure that my lid is also well set in preparation for whatever I'm going to be doing on the eye. Okay, see how I'm glowing, guys? Yes, and I haven't even done anything. Okay, so immediately after that, I'm now going to go into this darker shade. I believe this shade is Atu, a mixture of Atu and Cocoa from the Bariat palette, and I'm going to be using those two shades to one of the shades as my bronzer and a deeper one just to deepen my contour. Okay, and I'm going into this smaller brush from one of my old Bobbi Brown sets, and I'm just going in lightly, gently, a little at a time to bronze up my face and contour at the same time, just to bring back dimension to my face. I mean, you already see that happening, right? Exactly. So you blend, guys, blend. I cannot overemphasize the need to blend. You want flawless looking skin, you want flawless looking makeup, you have to blend. You have to be patient, you have to blend. Okay, if you don't blend immediately, chances are you're not going to be able to blend later. So I'm going into a smaller brush. This is the fluff brush from the Bariat brush set, and I'm just using that to go into that shade Atu to just, you know, chisel my nose in a bit. And I'm taking that contour from the sides of my nose into my brow area, just so that there's no break off anywhere. So like I said, you want everything to be seamless, so you want to blend all products that you're putting in into each other. Okay, so that it creates a gradient effect, some kind of ombre effect, so that nobody is seeing where one thing stops and where another thing ends. See how chiseled my nose already is, guys? I mean, do you see that dimension? Do you see it? So next I'm going to go into this BH Cosmetics 28 I think it's an eyeshadow palette plus a blush, and I'm taking that deepest shade of blush and I'm applying that lightly on my cheekbone area, slightly above that contour shade. That's what you want to do. Now you have to be careful with blush. You don't want to go apply a heavy hand, else you're not going to be able to take anything off. So my advice always is to start small and build up. Don't ever rush into anything, guys. Start small and build up. And I wanted my my blush to be also subtle, so I didn't put a lot, just a little bit, to just, you know, further bring out my cheekbone. Now I'm going to go into highlighting, and I'm sorry I didn't show you guys that particular product, but this is a pigment from the Bariat Cosmetics Pigment. I believe the name is Nikkie, right? Yeah, I think the shade is Nikkie. It's a pigment, oh, it's a pigment, guys, but it also doubles as a highlighter, and that's what I'm using to highlight my face. So I always like to begin with my Cupid's bow and also the bridge of my nose, just to make sure that everything is there, and then I start at my cheeks. Like, oh boy, guys, look at that. See how easy that all blends in? Exactly, like, oh god, Oh, it's a dream. It's a dream. Guys, that's what I'm doing. So I like to use this small brush. It's from the Clear, I believe, brush set I got. It has a small head. It allows me to take a little product at a time and also blend it while I go. So I'm applying this to the highest point of my cheeks and then blending it into my blush, okay, and making sure that I'm connecting that to the top of my brows. I'm also applying a little bit on my forehead. You know, it's a soft glam after all. Like, we want to be some glowy, bronzy goddess, right? Can't remember what music I'm listening to, but trust me guys, I'm grooving, I'm jiving while I do this makeup. There's a lot of vibe while I'm doing this, so just appreciate me being goofy and feeling myself and feeling beautiful. You know, your hot dark chocolate coffee. And guys, this is the final look. This is it. I didn't do much on my eyes. All I just did was apply more of that pigment, contour my eyes a bit, put on some liner and some lashes, do my brows, also put on some nude lipstick. I believe the lipstick I'm wearing here is Uyai from the Bariat brand. Yeah, Uyai, it's from the Bariat brand. That's what I'm wearing. And guys, I mean, hello, yes. So at this point, I'm pretty much feeling myself, because I know I look dope, because I know I look fine, yeah, and because I know I just taught you a thing or two, and I know you'll be trying this look. If you do, please tag me. It's at Kryolan on Instagram. Let me see and appreciate. See you in my next video. Bye.